Yeah, I'm still learning Aspray. I've been using other, like I didn't know it was free up until recently, so I've been using other things. I definitely did a tutorial on how to use Aspray on my thing, but I can't say I'm like an expert at it yet.
I just got the download from you guys.
The pixel art
Cleo,
that I've done in the past has just been like online.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
I use Misc.
Gotcha.
That's what I used to use, and then I went to Krita, and now I'm using Aspray. Although I must say Aspray's like really good. I really like it, and it's so cute. Like
I love it. Yeah.
the style of the actual like software is really cute.
Done with pixel art. Yeah.
Yeah, it's adorable.
That's really great.
I started using Krita not too long ago. Photoshop made me mad for the last time.
Yeah, like I just got Photoshop for a class, and I'm trying to figure out how to use it, but I prefer Krita way more.
Gotcha. I think Jeremy, I think an ad here isn't gonna. Which one? Which one, Cleo?
Adobe Suite, just the whole thing.
It's so expensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Adobe.
It's frustrating. But I have to get it for class, so.
My teammate made me get whatever the free version is, and I can't close it. It's forever open in the background. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Whenever you two would like. I mean, it's now 8:01. We could wait until like 8:05 or something. It's up your call.
Did you do an...
Yeah, let's wait a little longer. I'll go first. So
a few more people.
If that's all right, Cleo.
Sick. Slight stream delay here, but
Yeah.
I think you're good. I think you're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Do you want me to start then?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna wait longer. Should I?
We'll give it like a quick 4 minutes. How's everyone doing? A Mars rover landed today. There's stuff to talk about. My God.
Yeah.
Who saw that live?
I have class. I couldn't.
I did not.
Yeah. What time was that?
That was 3 o'clock roughly. It landed 3
I woke
Eastern
up
at
30
least.
minutes after that today. I slept in.
That's nuts. Wow.
Usually I don't sleep that long, but today I was like, I didn't set an alarm, so.
I understand. I've been doing what I can to reset my sleep schedule. I was right there with you like a week ago, but trying to move that back to like 9 a.m. It's a struggle, but
yeah. I just like because like life's been so like slow recently. Like I'm taking pretty easy classes this semester, so I sleep in when I can because there's not much else to do.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. How's the first pictures came back from the Mars rover, I think. I don't know. While we wait for another like 3 minutes here, I'll see if I can pull them up.
Oh yes, please.
It's so freaking cool.
It's not like the whole group is meeting, so I don't know how many people were planning to show up.
We can only. Well, we might see another person or two. Wow, if you look up Perseverance, your screen fills up with fireworks on Google. I wonder if that actually is an unrelated effect. I don't think so. Hold on. Mars rover. If I look up Mars rover, I don't get fireworks. If I look up Mars rover. Yeah, Mars rover gives you fireworks. Mars rover or Perseverance gives you fireworks.
Cute.
That's adorable. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's go, America. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That's great. Here, 8:03 meeting chat. Consistent sleep schedule is amazing. Waking up at 5 is god tier. Yeah. No, that feels good.
What do you even do at that point? Waking up at 5, like it's
workout.
dark out. Yeah, workout. That's true. Because it's
I like that in the mornings. A little bit gaming, yeah. Programming. I'm sorry. I thought you said gaming. I was
Gaming will work too.
Pro gaming, TBH, yeah.
Making flashlights.
Flashlights.
Exactly.
Cooking
flashlights.
Cooking at 5
Cooking, meal prep.
Great.
Meal prep. Right after the workout.
Especially since really everyone else is asleep.
Yeah, it's understandable.
All right, should I start sharing my screen?
Yeah, go
ahead.
ahead.
I think it's time. Go ahead.
Ready.
I'll turn off my camera. I don't want to take away.
If I full screen, will y'all be able to see it?
We can see it now.
Okay, great. Go wait for this little thing. Okay. Pixel art. Can you guys see me? Because I can't see me, so
I
all
can
I
see
see
you.
is the presentation. Perfect.
Yeah. Screen's
What
still
is?
loading for me.
Oh, okay. I'll
Oh,
wait.
sorry. I don't know. Is that just me? If it's just me, then it might just be me. I have no idea.
Sometimes we'll try like exiting out and rejoining the live.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
Sometimes it just
It's
doesn't
not working
load.
for me. That's
Give
not
it-
working for me either.
Give it a second. Give it a second.
You see
Just
it now?
okay.
Now it
Do
is.
right click
Yeah, I
on
can
it
see it.
and do. Yeah, there we go. Cool.
Okay.
see
Do you want
it
me to
now.
just keep it small then? Because if I full screen it, I think that's the issue.
No. Wait, try to full screen it now.
Okay.
It's good. I see it. Are we good? Thumbs
Okay.
up from
Good.
everyone.
Alrighty. Pixel art.
Yeah.
What is pixel art? I'm going to assume most of you already know, but just in case, pixels are a minute area of illumination on a display screen, one of many from which an image is composed. I like to compare them to atoms, but like for a computer. Pixel art is created from pixels. If you ever did perler beads or Minecraft block art, that's pretty similar. So like if you like that, then pixel art's for you. A sprite. Here's how to set it up. So I sent the link and then I think Michael put it in resources.
Yeah. I'll you know what?
So
I'll link it again in right now to just get people's
Cool.
attention.
Yeah, so here's the video on how to do it. I'll send this entire presentation later. But this is the video on how to do it. You gotta click extract all. It makes it seem like, ooh, you don't want to do that, but you do. And then just make sure it's in the same file. And then I didn't do this, but so you can open it and do all that. But I want to note that it's in downloads right now, but you can move the entire, like if you go back, you got the windows with like lots of numbers. You can move that to some place that's more useful because downloads is pretty temporary. So, all right, setting up a sprite. In the upper left-hand corner, click New File, and then this will pop up. And then edit the size and width. For now, 16 by 16, like just for practice, but it depends on what you're making. Keep the color mode for RGBA. Grayscale is good for like if you want to do something without color, obviously. A transparent background is ideal. If you do white, it's like glitchy and kind of weird because it treats the background as like it's pre-colored. So if you draw and then delete, you'll have a transparent background. It's weird. So transparent is ideal. And then you click OK. This is my art, and this is the difference between 16 by 16 versus 32 by 32, or larger or smaller. Clearly, you can implement more detail. I wanted to make something kind of creepy to show that you can do high detail. Larger is more detail and more complex, and smaller is less detail and simpler. That also means that it's harder to do larger, and it's easier to do smaller. So it just depends on the scenario, but this is really important to know for, like, if you're a beginner, smaller the better. Anti-aliasing, dithering, and lining. Anti-aliasing is adding a lighter transitional color to soften edges like this. And it's optional, and we'll be discussing our options for art style overall later, but keep note that like this is what it looks like from far away, this is what it looks like up close. So simplicity and ease versus complexity and difficulty. It looks different. I wouldn't say it looks better or worse. It's a matter of art style and opinion. So it's just how you want it to look. So we'll decide what we want. Again, it's more hard to do because it adds a whole nother layer of what you're doing. So if we want, well, I'll get into that later, but dithering, it's a checkerboard pattern to create a smooth transition between colors. And then there's other ways to blur. There's a blur tool in Sprite that does this funky little thing, and you can go over it over and over again and make it even more blurred. So this is the difference. Or you can just not blur. Here's a self-portrait I made a while ago, and the hair's blurred, but other than that, there's no blurring. It just depends on what you need. Like, technically, I think I could have blurred these legs if I really wanted to, but it was unnecessary and would have created more complexity. So it can cause confusion the more complex your build is. Sometimes you just want simplicity. So they both accomplish the same task, the dithering and the blur tool. And it's a matter of style. So we should decide what we want to do before we really start when it comes to blurring and dithering. Black lining, other color lining, and no lining. So this is pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of hard to tell that this is just color lining instead of black lining, but you can see that it kind of does make a difference when you look at it from far away. Now, I think personally, if I were to look at these three, the obvious option would be the middle one, but this also has no lining. And if I go back, this one looks pretty, like the one on the far right looks pretty basic, but I would say sometimes if you do no lining, it actually really helps. If I had done any color lining, like even just another like skin color that's just like slightly darker, it would still look bulky and weird. So it depends on what you're doing. Animation, here's the hard stuff. So here's a little animation I made. Sorry it's blurry. I scaled it up and that made it blurry. You want to use onion skins. That's this little button when you do animation. Also, I realize now, your Sprite is not always set up for animation. There's a way to set it up. I think it's in the window tab or view or something like that. You can set it up to have the workspace of animation. And you want to do that if you're going to do animation. Onion skins are the previous frames shown in a lighter color underneath the current frame so that you can use them for reference. They're kind of weird. I was having difficulty with them, so if you need help, just ask me. I'll figure it out. You're going to sketch the animation by marking the XYZ points, or if it's 2D, well, it depends. This is the X and the Y, but there's no Z for this because it's just face on, depending on the angle, and the general shape. Do this for the beginning and the end of your animation. Seeing both beginnings and animation frames using onion skins allows you to make the middle frame smoothly. And then, yeah, I didn't finish it, but you would just then, at that point, start finishing it up. But the sketch layer is the most important. You really want to do a sketch layer before you really go full into it. Yeah. This is my first animation and pixel art I ever really made, and it takes time and practice, so this is clearly pretty simple compared to, like, something like that. So this is the first piece I ever made, and yeah, so just know that it takes time and practice, and it's not going to turn out perfect the first time, but it's fun either way. In conclusion, here's another little animation I made. This is also one of my like first really intense animations. How do we want the final game to look and feel? And how much time do we want to spend on each pixel piece? If we do anti-aliasing, that takes more time. If we do lining, that takes more time. If we do dithering, that takes more time. It's all up to how much time we want to spend and how we want them to look. So I actually made a poll. Give me a moment. Asking you guys how we wanted to. Where should I put it? Meeting chat.
Cool. Yeah, that's probably appropriate. Yeah. Like
Okay.
dithering versus yeah. That's
It's like dithering and like
Can
you'll see.
anti-aliasing is something that. Oh wait, no, yeah, 100%. Never mind. Sorry, yeah, I follow. Yeah, okay, cool, sick, sure.
I mean,
So
yeah, could
let me
you
know if that like
go
works.
through? Could you go through anti-aliasing and dithering one more time?
Yes, I went very fast. I'm so sorry.
Good.
So anti-aliasing makes it softer, so it's not as hard of an edge. You'll see this when you're drawing like using like on Krita or Photoshop if you're using a big frame, like very, very small pixels, and you're using a softer brush. If you zoom in, you'll see anti-aliasing happening on that brush. Instead of just a rough edge, it'll be softened. It can even go out further, but that's only if you have a very, very big scale. I find it that the smaller the scale, the less anti-aliasing you need, if any. So those are the pros and cons of that. Ease and simplicity versus complexity and difficulty. And then this is dithering. Here, these are the two. So dithering's like a funky little checkerboard that sort of eases these into each other. And then this is a smoother. And this would be the obvious choice, but you know how like older styles often use dithering, so it depends on what style we want to go for. I find this easier.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Dithering is because like older things have limited colors, so they wouldn't be able to get that like nice shade of
Ah,
transition
yes.
Cool
in
piece of
blurring.
history. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
right. That's
you
right.
you have two colors. If it's
Save
big
memory.
blown up like this, you can see the difference. But when you're staring at a screen and it's really small pixels, you get a blur effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's the difference between blurring and dithering. So yeah, if you want a more old school style, you would probably go for dithering or just a very iconic style. And like you said, the further away you get, the more blurred it'll look. So it looks pretty not blurred here, but I think if you like backed away from your computer or zoomed out or something like that, you'll definitely see. Let me see if I can show you here. I'll make it very small. You can see it looks much more blurred like this. It looks blurred. All right. So take the survey and decide what you want to do for art style, because even if you're not doing it, what you think looks best, because we don't want some people doing anti-aliasing and some people not, some people doing lining, some people not. We want consistency in order for the game to look as a whole like best, you know? So as you guys are taking the survey, do you have any questions?
Is
yeah,
the
I think it was. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Shiro.
No, I was about to ask the same question you're about to.
Oh, okay. A certified mind reader, I see. Yeah, no, it's the I can't access the survey. I think.
Okay.
It says
Let me see.
that the form can only be viewed by users in the owner's organization. And judging by how everyone can't access the survey, I'm assuming you made it with. Well, what Google account did you make it with? If it was like
I used
maybe
my like personal, so let me stop streaming and figure that out.
interesting. Okay.
Let me see.
Is your personal just a raw like at gmail.com? Like, is it possible that it's like at gmail dot like UFL or maybe your high school or something?
Nope.
That's usually the
Was it? I always forget the name. It's not a poll. It's a
Google form.
form. Thank
Private?
you.
Form.
I always
Is it
forget.
possible to make it private?
Let
Yeah,
me see. Let me see.
When
And maybe
usually
Control
link to the
F.
form. I haven't seen this before.
Control F and search for.
The settings, it's in the as long as you share it using the share link, it's usually like not an issue. But you're not sharing the like form to be edited. You're like disseminating the link to take the form, and that's a different link. It's in
Yeah.
the
Click send in like the very top. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's what I did.
that's the one you
I
posted to us.
shortened the URL, so maybe this one will
Let's
work.
try it. Let's try it. You need permission.
Huh.
Weird.
Let me try again. Wait.
If you want, look, if it's
Aha,
just
I
three
figured it out.
options.
There we
okay.
go. That should work. Did that work?
Yep, I can now
Yep,
access
it
the form.
worked.
There
Form
we
is now
go.
open.
I
Sick.
forgot
All
to
right.
click one thing.
Oh, nice. This is a well-made form. Thank you.
Thank you. So any other questions? Alrighty. And then you guys take the survey and let me know if there's anything else that you need. Feel free to ask me when you are making like pixel art and stuff like that. Ask me about anything. I really want to emphasize that consistent art style is important, but don't sweat too much about like make sure you're original still too. Like I want you guys to like explore what you're doing, but also make sure that our art looks consistent. And Cleo will be getting into art like color scheme. Sorry, stuttered. Color scheme and stuff like that. And that's also really important with consistencies.
Segue.
Yes. So Cleo, go ahead.
Real quick, did you want me to explain vector versus bitmap just really quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Or does everybody know?
Just explain what you do not know.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The way that I would describe vector, or let me describe bitmap first. So bitmap, I would describe as just a set of code for each pixel that an image gives a computer. For an image, it gives a set line of code for each pixel, and it says it gives it X and Y value, as well as a color value. So that's a bitmap. And computers are not very good at storing them as well as they are at vectors. And so vectors are images where you can give it parameters and it won't lose quality. So if you have a small bitmap image and you resize it to make it larger, it'll lose quality. But if you have a vector image, it won't, because it's a what is it? It's an equation that you give it. Okay, it's an equation that you give the computer when you're resizing it, and so you're changing the size parameter, but that goes on to change all of the other parameters, if that makes sense.
If I may, permission, Cleo, permission to. Yeah. The point is, like, images are handled in a number of different formats, right, everyone? And so, there's your standard like image, right, where there's all the pixels, and every pixel has like the data associated with it. And then vector images are a collection of points. And yeah, like just like Cleo said, a collection of equations that connect those points. So, and they're a different style of handling data. And like Cleo said, yeah, vector images, as you scale them up, because they're defined as an equation, and then your computer checks where those like curves intersect with pixels, you can always regenerate the image at like full quality. But yeah, like with pixels, scaling things up, there's different algorithms that do this, and we're going to use an algorithm in Unity, like it's a little checkbox that you check that disables blurring when you scale something up. But that's why if you load a sprite that you made an A sprite in Google Images or something, like if you open it as a tab in Google Chrome and try to zoom in on it, it'll get really blurry and nasty. It will not look like a Minecraft block when you walk up to it in the game. It'll look really blurry. And that's because it's using bilinear or trilinear filtering. And what that is it's like a anti-aliasing algorithm that just tries to like preserve quality while scaling it up. And that's not designed for pixel art. And in game engines, it's done with something called bitmapping. We won't even bother with that. Point is, you just flick a switch in Unity when you import your image textures, and they don't have that issue with scaling. And we'll get into that probably with Trevor's presentation at another time. But yeah, no, Cleo, you explained that perfectly. To be honest, I didn't. I thought I had something to clarify. I didn't. That was good. Cool. Let's watch it. Let's see it stream. Yeah.
1 second, I can't see this stream. I'm sorry.
It's loading. I'm gonna do the stop watching and rewatch thing. Did not do it. Well, we'll give it a sec.
Oh,
There it
we
is. All right, you are live. So you know, Cleo, you're muted.
Cleo, you're muted.
You're good. There you go. You're unmuted.
So okay, so here's color schemes. Here are different. So these rainbow color schemes are from left to right. There's a vibrant, muted, and then pastel. So those are different styles of color schemes. And so why use color palettes? So color palettes are used to reflect a feeling or vibe. For example, if a scene is meant to reflect a feeling of serenity, many of the colors may be green, like in this image. And if the scene is meant to reflect hostility, many of the colors may be red, like the image on the right. Is there any questions about that one? No?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yep.
All right.
Get it.
All right. So what is a color palette? there are a couple different definitions. There's the physical color palette that painters use to mix their paints, but the one that we're focusing on for game development is the kind of digital or artistic definition, not the physical, of a color palette is a range of colors used in a project or work. And so here I have a gradient between this kind of more saturated orange to the more pale orange on the right bars. And then how do you use color palettes? There are a couple different ways. Like I use a lot of tools when I use color palettes, but the basic thing is use colors continuously and preferably colors that go together. So you look at two colors or more colors together and you just think, do they look good? Which is kind of it for that part. But continuously is important, like Anne said in the last presentation, because you don't want to have color schemes that are all over the place. You don't want to have a very vibrant part, but then another smaller part, maybe I am messing this up. Let me just go on to the next slide. So here are some tools. If you are designing something online, you can use the color pick eyedropper, which is this logo, which is a Chrome extension, which you can just click on to pick colors from any website. I think I have it right here. I don't know if you can see that.
We can't see it.
It's not working on the present. But does anyone have any questions? You guys can go to the, what is it? Colordesigner.io.
I'll grab the link.
If you want to look at that and kind of mess around with some stuff in there. But that's one of the tools that I use a lot. Those are the two main ones.
Jeremy beat me to it by a nanosecond. Awesome. Thank you, Cleo. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Color designer. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
if anyone has any questions, I'd answer those as well. Right now, as well as any other time, you can just message me or ping me in one of the chats.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Will we may I propose something for color schemes in the general game?
Yeah.
This is probably already something people have thought of, but each floor will probably have a different color scheme. I was thinking something not like strong color scheme, but like something that really comes through, where like one floor is really red and one floor is really green, and they would give off different vibes. And obviously, we can just do floors that have like a softer, just sort of like any color. But I thought it would be cooler if we did color schemes that were really came through depending on the floor.
I had that image in mind. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think that we should do different color schemes, but also the same kind of color scheme, like with the muted, pastel, really vibrant.
Yeah, and we should definitely decide what we want to do and how we want to do it. If somebody wants to make a bunch of sample color palettes, perhaps, or something like that, and we can decide from there what we want to shoot for each room. That'd be really cool.
It would be awesome to have so yeah, that's you actually make a really good point about just from an organization standpoint, I someone should be prepping color palettes per like floor. Like because I mean, the way that we're building the game, I think the idea is to have like multiple different floors that are kind of themed in like increasing levels of socioeconomic like luxury, I guess. And so There's a lot of there have been a lot of different ideas thrown around with like themes and things for the different floors. And that would definitely like go with a color palette. Uh, and another thing, beyond just color palette, we have the capacity in Unity to modulate an entire environment and shade it in a given way. We can perform like cross like the entire world color correction. So on the off chance that we're if I guess what I'm getting at is if we make everything true to life colors, you know, like if you make a trash can sprite and the trash can sprite looks exactly like what you would expect it to look like in real life, and then you put it in an environment that looks like a bathroom, and the bathroom is exactly what you would expect it to look like in real life, and then that bathroom is on the sewer level. Well, you can tint the entire sewer level
Green.
a nice dank green, yeah, and then and the trash can will take on that tint and everything else. So we have that capacity.
Okay, so here, I think this is an important question. Are we gonna have windows?
Windows to like the outside world. Remember it's 2D top down. If we do have windows,
Like we could have light coming in from.
volumetric lighting, the cool little light beams. We can definitely, yeah, we can do. Yeah,
Oh,
windows are possible. Windows, I think, are
I
possible,
think
given that this is 3D.
I think we do have windows, but I'm not sure how much volumetric lighting we're gonna do.
Yeah, true. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I mean the effect that like it looks like 2D volumetric lighting, where there's just kind of a beam of glow. You know,
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah, yeah.
golden beam of yeah.
But
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
not.
Yeah,
about.
if we had like a greenhouse and there was like light streaming in through the windows, I think that'd be really pretty.
Frankly, a greenhouse would make a lot of sense as well. This is like
I like that.
yeah. Well, brainstorming things for different rooms is fantastic, and I ask that you, the Trello board is a great place to like drop all of your ideas as a way to like organize them, I guess. So like if you want to make a column on Trello, for example, like here I'll demonstrate briefly. Um, uh, if you go to like at the very top of resources is the Trello board, right? And so here it is. You can just be like, okay, room ideas, and then room ideas you can be like greenhouse, and then to greenhouse you can attach like concept art that you find like pixel art greenhouse, and I'm sure we can find something that we like and just be like, okay, let's try to match this color palette, and you can go save or no, copy image address, attach a link, attach, and then bang,
I should
room
mention
ideas.
there are also tools online which you can give an image and it'll generate a color scheme based on the most predominant colors in that image.
Yes, Adobe, right? I think it's Adobe. Or is that what here, color palette from image. Yeah, Adobe does that. That's really cool. If you just look up like color palette from image, in fact, we could drop this in the art section or we could drop it in resources, but this website, there's an app for this as well that lets you like point your phone to random stuff and generate color palettes from it. But this lets you here we can just drag this image in. I'll save it real quick. Desktop, and then bang. There we go. And we can generate a few different color palettes, and it just kind of tries to draw a gradient over this, but we can like position these and be like, okay, let's grab that, a little bit of white, that, and then a couple of shades of grass. And then there's a nice color palette for you right there, and you get all the hex codes and stuff, and then you can crack open Sprite and do the stuff in there.
I feel like that greenhouse is a good example of how color schemes can really warp your perception of something in a good way. Where that's clearly pink when you look at it far away, like that color sample is clearly pink, but
Oh, it looked
in the
red.
grants it looks brown or red.
Yeah.
And like the green in the greenhouse is clearly blue or teal when you look at it from far away, but like up close, it like the picture itself, it looks green. And so,
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out, that it really
Yeah.
warps how you see something.
The yellow doesn't look this nasty in the picture, but it's kind of nasty yellow, but it looks great there. Yeah. 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 Yep.
Complete
I see that.
tangent. I can do like a black and white like kind of architectural sketch of tower if we have a design that we want to do all the way up, or if we want exterior to be different on all the floors as well.
I don't think we're gonna have like a 3D exterior, but I do know that we're gonna need a main menu eventually, and the main menu is an excellent opportunity for a gorgeous, like, 1920 by 1080 like pixel art piece. If anyone wants to, I remember oh God, what's his name? I'm so sorry. Nathan. I think because Nathan had the idea for this, and he had like art from God, not E.T. What's the name of the movie, guys, with the box robot that packages stuff? Wall-E, right? Jesus Christ, Wall-E. And he had art from it as a background, and it was like city. He had a background that had like he had like this almost as like a background. Of course, these are mountains of trash, but could you imagine the main menu of our game being like a really cool sprawling like pixel art thing where it's like just like the side of like a tower or something, the distance of poverty?
I made something like that for a school assignment. Hang on, let me send that.
He's pretty sick.
Enter the Gungeon has a thing like that for the menu page.
It does. Yeah, exactly. Enter here. I'll
animated a little bit as well.
Yes, and we definitely can do that. Throw around some sprites and things. This is the Enter the Gungeon.
If we had like smoke coming from the roofs of the houses or of the buildings and stuff like that.
This is the main menu background from Enter the Gungeon.
That's gorgeous.
Dithering. Oh, the one place where there's dithering and Enter the Gungeon. There it is. There's dithering.
There's dithering in the sky as well.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's everywhere.
Noses the whole time.
Yeah.
And the dithering is animated, which is like really hard to do.
It is. I think we actually have I think we can do that in Unity without too much difficulty, but that won't be the pixel artist's responsibility. That'll be you're welcome to get involved in it. I'd have to teach you like a bit of shading math stuff, but it's pretty easy. Definitely do it. It's awesome. Oh man.
I could generate a couple color schemes for the floors. If we want to decide on a general feel, I think muted would go pretty well with the kind of theme that we're going for. With the dystopian vibe would go really well with muted.
Yeah, like I'm thinking also like for the outside at least, like a lot of browns and reds and like dystopian. Like when people like think like futuristic, they often think blues and like blacks. But I'm thinking a lot of like reds and browns and greens and like sort of like a dirty kind of rustic feel. Not rustic, that's not the word.
Definitely.
Like
rusty.
And like rusty, that's it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I could do that. Do we want to stick to warmer colors or
what I would love is to see that conversation play out in like the art channel, to give a lot of the people that didn't make it to this meeting like the opportunity to talk on there. But if because the art channel, I don't know. I posted I threw together. This is my first pixel art. I cracked open A-Spray. I'm like, I'm gonna do normal maps, and so I did bricks, right? But you can see the background's brown in here, and I'll take a moment to. I know I'm derailing, but to show you the point of like how even though these bricks under white lighting are exactly that color, we can really add quite a bit of tint to them through Unity. But the art channel is definitely a place to discuss that. Like I wouldn't make any final decisions without like a little bit of group consensus, though there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Like I mean we do have to decide eventually, and we can't vote for everything. So feel free to take some like initiative. Let's have a discussion about it in there.
Yeah, I'll send the art style poll in the art as well.
Yeah.
We need like a muted, or like what materials are we going to be using? Maybe a lot of wood. I don't know. A lot of metal, probably. That would affect color scheme a lot. So maybe Anne and I, or one of us, could put together a Google form for that. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is a question of organization on a greater scale, and that is like, um do we poll for everything, or do we designate leadership, and how do we designate leadership? Like when as like admins, I guess, like we got in a call with Nathan a while ago trying to like plan what we're gonna do for this, and we're like, okay, we want people to vote on the general style, like enter the Gungeon or something, right? And we don't have to stick to enter the Gungeon exactly, not by a stretch, no. But I guess my point is, delegating leadership to somebody so that they can call the shots is appropriate. So I don't know. I guess it's a question like of how we're going to organize ourselves. Like it's not just a question about one poll. It's a question of how this whole project is going to go down. Do we do really frequent?
Democracy.
Yeah, do we do really frequent Google forms? Like, do we say like, okay, Anne is gonna be the like art exec director of like concept art or something, and like we have to do whatever style Anne decides is like best, and she's responsible for saying like, oh, you might want to redo that a little bit or something. Like that's a question. That's a question that
Yeah. Do they
keeps me
do
awake at
that?
night.
How do they do it in like video game companies? Does anybody
They
know?
they definitely have like senior artists, or like, and then they call the shots on overall art direction. There's like an art director. I know that much.
Yeah. Do we want to decide on a person, or do we just want to continue like
Polling
having these big
frequently.
conversations like in meetings where we have to decide? Because one's definitely easier, but at the same time, socially, is it worth it having to decide on someone to be in charge?
And that's what I envisioned, that's what I was, so the beauty of the Trello, sorry, I'm absolutely like not having a linear train of thought here, but the beauty of Trello is that you can vote on different things. So right now there's 17 people on the Trello board, and you can see right here it says 5 out of 17, 1 out of 17. So if you go on this board right now, you go click that link, you can actually go over here and be like, okay, similar tech progression to XCOM 2. He writes a description of it. I can be like, you know what? Frick yes. I love it, and I can do that. And then it's like, okay, this is now it has like 1 out of 17.
Can you send the link for the Trello board, please?
It's in resources. I'll drop it again. It's at the
perfect.
top of resources, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't unfortunately,
There we go.
here, I could do you know what, I'll start doing the following, and the idea was to never let this get super cluttered. So it's already getting a little bit colored. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping the links so that we don't get as many embeds. And yeah, I guess Jeremy, if you want to do it on some of your messages,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll do that later.
I am curious if we like for pixel art, who is doing pixel art overall? Do we like is it Cleo, me, and Hannah, or is there anybody else?
I think that's.
So were you here for our last meeting, Anne?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Do you remember the GitHub projects bit? Oh,
Yes.
oops.
Let me
Okay,
open that.
so I guess it's a matter of like anyone, we really want to leave this like open, right? So like anyone that wants can do can undertake whatever responsibilities they want to. So like pixel art right here, I can see that, yeah, Hannah took on the pile of garbage right here. She added her name to this one. And if you wanted to work on this, you could just, you could go here and you could at yourself, be like at Alberta Tross, I think, right? And throw in your name there. And the idea is like check this, I guess, to if you want to collaborate with someone, like talk to them. But pixel art, it looks like the two of you, Hannah and Anne, have taken on pixel art, and so sewer themed tile set, that's a huge responsibility, right? I mean, so I don't know, we don't have designated roles because I don't want to make anyone feel like they have to like fit themselves into a role, but then again, that's kind of a good thing for someone that's a beginner and is scared to pick a role and doesn't know what they're into. Like there's a lot from an organizational standpoint that's that we put a lot of thought into and we still don't have great answers for.
I
But
think our best option would be we have a council for the art, like
council.
an art council, and they'll do Q&A, quality assurance on all the art that passes through. So, like,
We only have like a handful of pixel artists though that are going to be active on the project. Like you're not gonna have a council out of like the 6-7 pixel artists tops that will be working together.
no,
That's my fear.
No,
Maybe we could all meet together though.
like, no, I meant
That
like
would-
Yeah,
those
just the pixel artists.
those
At
three,
a different
four
time.
will be the council. So they'll be like, maybe we want muted colors and someone has way too vibrant colors. They'll point that out, and it's not a singular
Yeah.
person. But other than that,
Yeah.
People can just do whatever. Just like a QA
Yeah.
thing.
If you like we also like really want like free agency, I guess. So like say like if you have a conversation on the art channel and you all like go, okay, oh my god, we totally want to do a green kind of theme. Like well there is a bit of a question there, I guess, as to whether you want to do a green theme or you want to keep your textures exactly like as they are, I guess, and then do the like green overlay in Unity. So for example, let me or was it lighting right here, I think, environment. I can change the shadow color to be like all sorts of different colors. So if I delete these two lights, the overall shadow color, actually, here, this is the ambient color. There, bang. So we can be like, okay, we want, sewer level, it's gonna have that nasty green like base color, and then we can add like I don't know, God, I'm new to Unity. I'm really new to Unity. 1 second. Point light. Faster. These people are waiting. There we go. We can add like a nice like flickering orange light to this or something. And as you can see, even though your pixel art, that's not what I wanted to change. Even though your pixel art was, in reality, a very raw texture without like thematic coloration to it, by adding this warm lighting on top of a green hue for the entire level, where this is one room, like we're gonna have a bunch of interconnected rooms, and this is how the game world actually looks. So you can like, you see my point, right? Like if you want to, you can agree right now to be like, okay, instead of having all the extra effort of telling each other like, oh, your color scheme's just a little bit off or something, you can just like try to make everything as true to life as possible. Like make the bricks be like bricks, what do bricks look like, right? They have a like ceramic red and white kind of feel at most, and then proceed to color over them using the Unity tools, which will allow us to control the look and feel of an entire level and change it on a whim as well. If we're like, oh no, we think all of our lighting needs to be a little bit more orange, like dang, we could do that with a few clicks. So I personally would advise for that over trying to do thematic pixel art. That's just me though, but that's my argument for that.
All right, so you're thinking true to life?
I'm thinking true. I think that would make it easier for a lot of people. Yeah, I think
All
so.
right. Yeah, that sounds good
I
to
think
me.
so.
I'd like to bring up a point. If the art kind of team is so small, then maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to do thematic design and maybe go a little bit more fantasy style and do different colorings for things.
Definitely can
Maybe a
do
little bit
like,
different.
you can definitely change your style as to like what it is that we're doing for each floor. Like if you mean fantasy, like from a color standpoint, what does fantasy mean? Like is fantasy more saturated or something? Like we can control all that from Unity. We can control the saturation, the lighting effects, the color correction of an entire level in Unity to make sure that it all is like from the same effect. But if you want fantasy style sprites, like maybe there's a level that's like magic or so, I don't know how that would fit into our world, and we haven't really like voted on that. But my point is, you're welcome to do whatever art objects you want, but I guess as far as color, we do need to decide on something. But go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the issue with color modulation is it modulates everything. It doesn't care about contrast and things. So things like the contrast of whatever sprites you're making will um, will need to be
True.
considered before modulation. In addition, depending on the way you do it, modulation can affect your blacks. So I think it was Anne
True.
who did the Anne did the one with the black outline versus the purple
Yeah.
outline.
Mm-hmm.
If you modulated that smiley face to be purple, your black outline would turn purple, which could be an
Indeed.
issue if you wanted those nice clean black outlines.
I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. I'm doing that as quickly as I can. Let's say we have a I'm trying to do this so fast. I'm going absolutely Sonic fast right now. All right.
Okay, there you can see the black to
Yeah, the
green.
black has changed color. Granted, this isn't like true pixel art. This is well, true, I guess true resolution. Like, even though these pixels are definitely like pixels, what this really is it's like a scale up of the pixel art, and you can tell because when I zoom in, there's weird compression
Yeah,
artifacts happening.
JPEG artifacts. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter though. The point is, black gets modulated when you do it this way.
right. Now that we also have control of post processing, so we can do a post process volume, which lets us do like, okay, tint. You can do like, yeah, you really see the screen space tinting there, like how we can add a layer of tint, and that's not good. Clamping, I think clamping lets us. I don't know what that does. I'm not gonna touch it. Point is that we do have like various we have control. If we wanted to turn up screen space contrast and stuff, we could, but that would still look different
That
if
would
like
look
one
different
sprite
than
is
if
really
you
contrasty and one's not.
if
Yeah.
you hand did the contrast, because that one would work on a scale based off of a computer.
So I
Wouldn't
guess
have that.
the lesson here would be make sure to pull the latest Git stuff and make sure to look at other people's sprites and try to not do anything
If it's
too
just
off,
like I think it's
I
just
guess.
a handful of big pixel artists. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 counting 7 counting other people.
We had like 14 people say that they're proficient in pixel art on another survey,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
Like actively working, we'd have
Yeah,
currently is
exactly.
like more than 7. 16-bit. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We never talked about
Bit depth.
color depth. So we work our computers are 256-bit. Back then you'd have like 8-bit, 16-bit. So do you want to limit the number of bits people can use? So like they have 16 colors to work with, they can't blend any of them. Things like that. And I agree with Hannah that I think the best option is to just worry about cohesiveness later, because our main goal right now is to create a room, and it doesn't matter like what the art for that room is. All that matters is we make it. Then we split up, and those people will make the thematic decisions for those single rooms. If we have like not a council, if we have a team of artists, then our programmers and level designers will probably be using, nice one Michael, will probably be using those said assets, eliminating the need for polls. But this is after the first room.
If we encounter like a lot of disjointedness in the pixel art of the first room, like that's fine. We'll correct it later. We'll just make like a git, like somebody go and adjust the pixel art, and then somebody will run over, grab the PNG, and adjust the contrast slider or something. Right? It can't be that bad.
Waterfall
Won't be that bad.
method's pretty great about project planning, but when you have a bunch of people who it's their first time, or maybe like well, especially for people like project planning, first time project planning, it's kind of hard. Yeah, but it's totally understandable. It's totally fine. I also have slight concerns about being too loose, because then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Yes, a QA person, and I would say, you and Hannah would probably be the best QA team. From because they're pretty.
Anne and Hannah, Cleo, yeah, anyone
Yeah,
that's
you guys are
uh,
pretty. You have
just
experience and
just talk to
you're
each other.
pretty
Talk
active.
to each other, you guys. That's all. It's all about
Yeah,
communication. Get on the
that's
Discord and
really it.
talk.
You want to roll? I'll make you guys a roll if you want. The QA roll.
I don't know if of QA team, but we're good. We're gonna QA role. No, it's so cool and fancy. You throw it on your resume.
Throw on your
No.
resume.
This
Yeah.
club is not about the resume pad, but I mean,
Um, I'm pretty. I wouldn't say we
and
have a lot of roles. It's like one screen space of roles. On my other series, have like 3 minimum.
I will say this. I
I
will
think
say
you
this. All
can
this
put it
talk
on your
about pixel art is
portfolio.
fantastic. All this talk about pixel art is fantastic, but I am the only one that has made a pixel art piece and pushed it onto the Git in the last week, and 1 week is left before we want to be done with this room. Fellas, make a couple tiles, 16 by 16, please.
You saw my attempt, Michael.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Me and Hannah will make the art, and Cleo, and we'll get
Bro.
on that. We'll get on that this week. Don't
Have you
worry
seen
about
my
it.
hard pixel art? It's like, what was it? 16 by 16. Um, I call it Windham tiles because it's like a really generic tiling that you'll find in like Publix or something, where it's like flat color, but there's like dots here and there. I didn't push
Um,
it because it's really bad. Voice channels. Yeah.
There's a general methodology that went into designing this Discord, and it was a fear of splitting up conversation because there's already very little conversation, and that's just how it is. That's how it goes. But like work sessions where people work on things together.
Okay, Shiro, that's every other Thursday between GBMs. This one was planned to be a work session, but we had a lot of requests for
Since
presentations, so it kind of turned
since
into a
lo-
workshop.
since last semester though, Jeremy, we have been doing like I have been running my workshops every Thursday, like back when I was teaching 3D modeling and stuff.
No, I remember like some Thursdays people didn't show up.
That's true. No, that's
And
true.
it
That's
became a
true. There
work
was a
session where you also did tutorials. Um,
That's absolutely right. No, you're totally right. I forgot about
yeah,
that.
your actual
Okay,
your actual workshops was GBMs, and then between those they'd be just work sessions.
true,
Um,
true.
you
Okay.
guys can hold your own. We do have
T
2 voice channels, and um, I think that's enough. If not,
Hannah, I
I
made my
am
stuff at 3 a.m.
yeah. If not,
I feel
I
that.
am willing to make more voice channels. Um,
You're free to use the general voice channel as well, though.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Work
totally
session
cool.
for
Like,
programming. Um,
we could, I could add like we could totally add a voice or a work sesh channel to
I put
club-wide game.
I'd put
Yeah, that
two,
makes sense.
two. I'd put like 1 or 2. I'd call them like alpha and beta or something.
Uh, work sesh. Okay, there's a work sesh channel.
No,
It
nice
works.
one.
Okay, cool.
Alpha.
Alpha.
And
All
I'll
right.
make a beta. Voice beta.
Alpha Squad.
Alpha. Okay, there you go.
What
There you
what
go.
about
So
Bravo?
I will still be hosting work sessions on off weeks, and so feel free to join. It's like study hall. I probably won't be working on this game, but other games and stuff. I do know like Rona Rampage holds 1, 2 once a week on their own private channel. Oh, they're just names. I wanted more than 2. Is the thing.
Stuff got you still, but like, um, I welcome people to organize themselves using especially using when to meet. It's a great tool if you want to like get people's responses on when they're most available. We ran a when to meet at the beginning of the semester, and it helped us determine when availability should be for these Thursday sessions, and that's what we went with, Thursday 8 to 9. So uh
Um,
I don't wanna split like Cleo. And it's okay. Like, but by the way, I don't want to sound like your opinion is as valid as mine. But my argument against making tons and tons of channels is that they all end up underused. Like already, we have a general channel that gets like a message or two in it every other day. You know, we have a club discussion and an art channel which occasionally are active with conversation, but generally pretty inactive. So the idea is to like try to concentrate conversation to some degree to ensure that like that people like that people like talk to each other rather than just splitting it up as much as possible, because that it adds like an unnecessary amount of stuff to the Discord, in my opinion. I think it adds like a little bit too much clutter, and we're trying to minimize that. It's my
I'm
thoughts, my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For voice channels, it's totally fine, cause like there'll be groups of
Yeah.
people, but I don't want to label them because some of these things like 3D modeling and programming will probably be a one-time thing, and groups also don't. What's it called? They do like there'll be a group of people with different jobs, so it's better to have them labeled with numbers or letters so that people can still refer to them and there'll be multiple to use at the same time. But as for how many, I'll be checking activity on the voice channels. If I see a lot of people using them, I might add one more.
Uh, yeah, that's a
And
good idea.
it's not
Um,
like people are gonna have work sessions of like 3D modeling, art, and programming all at the same
Yeah,
time.
Totally can.
Usually,
I mean,
so
yeah. So I
I
think
mean, the thing is, like,
If you're vibing, if you're
my
silently vibing there, sharing your screen, doing your thing,
like
you know.
I
maybe
think
the
it's like
artist.
my sort of like thought process is like that. Like, I think like pretty much like artists, like they would probably want to interact with more artists. So like if they see artists like working on things, they might be more inclined to like
Yeah,
join in. But like that's just some
that's a
like
good point.
my like sort of view on that.
That's a very good point, and
That is a
that
good
goes with the
point.
idea. If you can
And
avoid
then it
doing your own
also
calls and join our VCs instead, it helps bring others
No,
together.
I think Shiro meant the name. Like if you see people in the art voice channel, then
Oh, my bad. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, that
hmm
makes some sense.
Mm.
Okay.
and then like yeah, it's like if like I don't know, it's like if you see like people like working on like a certain thing right there and like
I
you're
think
not for me it's just like I feel like I'm not as like upfront, like I don't want to like just like join in on something and like feel like I'm
yeah.
um not really doing anything, but like if I'm like if they're like people are like doing art, they're sort of sharing stuff, like it might like sort of like inspire me to like try a bit more. I don't know.
Um, I wish Discord had like more granular settings because I
Yeah.
would what I would do is I would totally make it so that people could just change the name, and that way like maybe they want to work on art, they just change this to art instead of having, because sometimes like 3D modeling and art go hand in hand. Um,
hmm
s- Programming not so much, but um, yeah. So I really don't want to section people off, but I also want people. Hmm. We'll figure it out, I would say.
I mean,
Um,
you could also like sort of move like the. Actually, no. I feel like that's not a good thing. I was about to say like for like have like a general club meeting so that you can like work together. But like yeah, that's just too much.
I mean, I'm open to like if we want to try to like maximize periodically, like
hello.
we could drop a when to me, and be like, okay,
Hey.
everybody, like please vote and tell us like what other day you're available for. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we already have a meeting every week, which is pretty great compared to most clubs at UF, not gonna lie. as opposed to like the once a month thing, especially considering like I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is some of the people in here are some of the most dedicated people to join any clubs, and that's a beautiful thing. And I don't know if more than one meeting a week is okay to formally host. I guess is what I'm saying.
I'm concerned about pings, but other than that, feel
Pings. That's right.
free. Like you guys can meet as much as you want. We're not gonna stop you. See you, Cleo and Anne. Yeah, just
I mean, can you
That's
can you
it.
ping roles,
Also,
right?
real quick,
no, you can't.
we may want like general art roles so we can ping people for development sessions.
That's
Yeah,
kind of what I was
okay.
asking.
Just
Oh.
guys,
Oh no, I see what you're saying.
yeah, just figure this out. Ping me. I can make QA and other things depending. I haven't done art, so I'm not sure what roles you need. Just ping me. I will get those done as soon as possible. Ping me if you have issues with um voice channels. As for meeting, you can meet as often as you want. I will be hosting work sessions in general every other Thursday, but you can meet more often than that.
All right.
Just
All
feel
right,
free
bye
to-
everyone.
Bye.
See you, Cleo. Thank you for the presentation. Good work.
Bye.
Okay, I'll be uploading this.
Yeah, thanks. I hope everyone liked it.
Yeah, it
Bye.
was
Yep.
great.
It was good. It's good.
You'll be
All right,
judged by
awesome.
the algorithm.
All right, I gotta skedaddle as well, guys.
Understandable. See ya, and thank you so much.
Yeah, I might be able to join if we want to do a pixel art session later tonight. I'll double check, but I might be able to do that. Would
You know
you
what
be
I'm
down
gonna
for that?
do? I'm going to vibe in the general channel while I finish my linear algebra homework and my professional communications homework. And the second that it's done, I'm hopping on A Sprite and vibing until like 1 a.m. or something. We'll see.
Okay, yeah, I'll double check and make sure that I'm available, but I'll try and do that later tonight as well.
All right, I'll just hang
Epic.
around in the
You
general
guys
call. Cool. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
So if I wanted to start with some of the Unity stuff, could I just go to the Trello and start implementing some of the stuff on
Yeah,
here?
go ahead.
Unity. Hold on.
Oh,
Wait. Wait. Trello. Okay, hold on. So the Trello. Okay, the
I would
Trello's
make a
like
branch.
people's ideas.
Okay.
The
Feel free
GitHub
to.
is like, I guess the more like formal stuff. So if you want to start implementing stuff, we do have a set of like very important goals that we have for the first room on the GitHub. Also, Nathan and Trevor have already implemented a couple packages onto the master branch, and I think there's currently an active branch that they created to do the player controller. But so if you want to, what I would recommend is pulling that branch and getting familiar with what changes they've made, and then seeing what you can do there if you'd like.
What
Oh,
I
yeah,
would,
sure.
what I would do is I'd make a branch off of theirs, and like,
Yeah.
call it like Thad's branch, and that way you can do whatever you want. You can implement the Trello things too. Just have fun. That's your own
Okay.
branch.
Yeah.
You won't be touching anyone else's. If you
Yeah.
don't know how to do that, I can do it for you.
Yep,
I
yep.
think I do. I haven't used GitHub that much, but I think I should be able
Okay.
to do it.
If need help, ping me.
Sick.
Ping Michael.
Okay.
We're practically here 24/7.
We low key though, like yeah.
I think I take the morning shift and Michael takes the night shift.
Right.
the no sleep shift, yeah, right here. Yeah. Oh God, I do not look good. Jesus Christ.
I can't see you because
God.
I'm on a.
Oh
Okay.
man. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Um.
I'm shaved.
Anything else?
Uh,
No, nothing else. Guys, I forgot. I don't see
No.
messages.
I think we're good.
If not, I'm gonna end this and post it, and you can keep talking, but I just want to make sure I don't.
I'm
miss
gonna
anything
go to
important.
the general chat and silently vibe. Anyone that wants can join me. I've got linear algebra
I
homework
don't
to do in
think I can
professional
stay up for
communications.
much
So.
longer. I want to sleep, but I
Understandable.
also don't want to sleep because if I sleep now, I'll wake up at like 2 a.m. and that's not fun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Godspeed, everybody. Thanks for
See
coming.
ya.
Good luck.